Good morning, everybody. What's going on, guys? It is day 22 of Morning Rants with Alex. I'm Alex, and this is my morning rant. Yeah, it's my birthday, so I'm going to keep this very, very, very short. So, I wasn't even going to do one this morning, because it's like you wake up and you're like, well, I wake up every morning at like 7:30 and I'm like, well, I guess I gotta start recording and I gotta get going and get ready for school, and then I gotta record and I gotta record more gameplay and post, all this other stuff. And this morning I was like, it's my birthday. I'm gonna sleep in. I don't care. Well, for one thing, I woke up at 7:30 anyway, just because I'm on that sleeping schedule. And I'm glad I did to make these videos. So I'm going to try to keep this quick, but we're not going to talk about gaming this morning. Instead, we're going to talk about Spider-Man. And we're going to talk about Spider-Man and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and what that means, and how awesome that is. And then maybe we'll loop it back around to gaming and to see maybe if there's potential gaming news in here, maybe. I don't know, not news, it's not news, speculation, hopefulness more than anything, really. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive right in. If you haven't already heard, because it happened last night around midnight, and it's big news. Spider-Man is coming back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's still owned by Sony, but now it is a partnership deal between Marvel and Sony. Which is great. That's what I always thought. I was like, well, Sony just wants to make a lot of money off of it. Spider-Man, because that's one of its biggest movie franchises of Sony Motion Pictures, and since Sony was hacked, and the Motion Pictures division was hacked, this past December, I was like, they must be hemorrhaging money. So it's like, what do they gotta do? Well, that's probably what forced their hand to make this deal with Marvel and Spider-Man. Now, what's very surprising to me is they're scrapping all of the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Any of the Andrew Garfield movies aren't anymore. Sinister Six isn't even happening anymore. Amazing Spider-Man 3 isn't happening. Those movies essentially are wiped off the whatever you want to call it, the palette, if you want, of Marvel movies or whatever. So Andrew Garfield won't be Spider-Man anymore. Which I'm kind of disappointed in. I liked Andrew Garfield. I thought he was a really good Spider-Man. I really enjoyed him, personally. So we'll see what that does. Maybe, I don't know who else they could find, unless they went for, like the Miles Morales, Black Spider-Man. In which case, Donald Glover is, like, the perfect fit for that. That would be... And I know everybody has that whole Twitter campaign going on, like Donald for Spider-Man and all this other stuff. He would be perfect for that role. Besides him, I can't really think of anybody else that would fit in to them, fit into that role. But I think that's a great choice, personally. Besides that, Marvel got the rights back. So Sony was really doing bad, and so now they're doing this deal. Spider-Man is supposed to appear in a upcoming Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. We don't know which movie that is. It may be too soon to say that he's going to appear in the Avengers 2, although I feel that will happen. I think that's going to be the end credits. I think I've said it in either the podcast or these morning rant videos, that I thought that Spider-Man was going to appear at the end credits. All the end credits are teases for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, whether it's Thanos or the Avengers Initiative or Howard the Duck was at the, spoiler alert, at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not really a spoiler because it doesn't ruin the story or anything. It's just like, if you're a Marvel fan, you probably already know that. But now Spider-Man is going to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I'm so excited for that because of Civil War. He has a huge part in Marvel Civil War. That's what I'm saying. I think he'll be introduced before Civil War, and then he'll have an actual part in that movie. So that's why I'm saying he'll appear at the end of the Avengers, because I mean they don't need to show who's in the suit. They just need to show a CGI version of a person in the suit. Because it's like with Thanos, they didn't have Josh Brolin as Thanos until like 2 years after the Avengers came out. So it's like, we're okay. Or they're okay. You know, they don't need to show Spider-Man in the suit yet. Or who's behind the mask. I mean, I personally wish, and this is just me, but this isn't the world we live in, that, if you can't tell, I'm really excited about this news. Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel hero next to I mean if I go DC, I'm a Batman fan all the way. I've been a Batman fan since I was born. But Spider-Man has always been my favorite Marvel hero, so I'm very excited for this. And the Marvel movies are excellent that are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I have a lot of high hopes for this. But I personally wish that they didn't say anything. I wish this news wasn't here today. I honestly wish that they just let it be a surprise. Do what they did with Thanos, do what they did with Howard the Duck, do what they did with the Avengers Initiative. People are going to stay after the credits to watch that in-credits scene. So why not save that surprise and then just throw it out there? People would lose their minds. People would lose their minds. I'm going to lose my mind anyway if I see it. You know, when it happens. Because now I know it's going to happen. I'm excited just knowing it's going to happen. But, I mean, I really wish that it was the world we lived in where they could just leave it a surprise. But that's just me. I'm not complaining either way, but, because it's happening. I don't know what they'll do. I mean, now they're saying, I mean, if I go and read the story, they are also exploring opportunities to integrate characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe into future Spider-Man films, which pretty much means that Spider-Man is going to get solo films. And I heard that they're pushing back some of the other Marvel Cinematic Universe films. So they're going to push back Black Panther, and they're going to move everything around so that Spider-Man has a spot in the grand scheme of things, which I personally think is fantastic. X-Men, they have a spot in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver and all those guys, but they don't play a huge part. I mean, besides Quicksilver and the mutant Scarlet Witch and all these other things, but they don't really fit. Spider-Man fits. Spider-Man should have been in the first Avengers. Maybe not as a core member, but he should have been appearing in all these movies here and there. I really but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm excited for it. Spider-Man will star in his own new film, released by Sony, opening July 28th, 2017, and will be produced by Amy Pascal and Marvel's Kevin Feige. And that's awesome. They will collaborate on a new creative direction for the web slinger. Now, they are going to replace Andrew Garfield. I already said Donald Glover would be a great choice. But really, that's the only other choice I can see besides Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield was awesome. I thought he was a great Spider-Man. It's very, 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 very unlikely that they'll keep him around. And if they do, good on them. Unfortunately, if they keep him, people are going to be slightly confused. Because we've had Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. He's too old to be Spider-Man now. No offense to Tobey. I mean, you know, it's just Spider-Man is a teenager, you know, or a young man, in his 20s. And then Andrew Garfield is the right age. It's just he was in those other movies. So now are those canon to the Spider-Man universe? Because I really don't feel like they can tell the Spider-Man story a third time. Especially within like a 15-year span. No, not even 15 years. Less than 15-year span. They've had 2 Spider-Men. And now they're thinking of adding a third. Are they going to just keep... I think they should keep Andrew Garfield, personally. And they should just continue on with that story. You can forget the stories. You can forget all the setup with the Sinister Six and all this other stuff. But keep Andrew Garfield. It would have a lot of synergy... can't talk this morning. Synergy there. To make the movies more cohesive. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just excited for Spider-Man coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm excited for Age of Ultron now. I was excited before, but now I'm even more excited because of the prospect of potentially having an end-credit scene with Spider-Man. Who knows? I mean, you gotta imagine that they have an end-credit scene already in the works for Age of Ultron. I mean, they might have 2. Who knows? They had 2 for... Didn't they have 2 for Guardians of the Galaxy? Or did they just have 1? I can't remember. I can't remember at all. But I know for Avengers 1, they had 2. One was a serious, like, the Thanos introduction, and the second one was, like, the shawarma, that stuff. But I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining me this morning. That was my morning rant. Not gaming related. I was going to talk about maybe Spider-Man games in the future, but I'm going to save that one, probably for the podcast. But thanks for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to hit the like button down below if you like these morning rants. Hit the subscribe button if you want to follow everything College Gamer does. We're doing some really cool stuff, so I really recommend that you hit that subscribe button. Besides that, be sure to go check us out at collegegamer.net, where we have everything that College Gamer does, including opinion articles. We'll be reviewing Evolve. We'll be doing all this other stuff. And then be sure to go like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Both of them can be found at collegegamer94. And then go check us out live streaming at twitch.tv/collegegamerlive. And we'll be live streaming probably a lot of Evolve starting tomorrow. Because today's my birthday. I turned 21. To date myself right there. So I'm gonna go crazy. Not really, because I'm not a crazy guy. If you haven't already, I don't know. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining me this morning, and I'll see you tomorrow.